Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. This is Koren, singer-songwriter, and we are here today to explore what holds us back in life. It can be from anything, to fulfill our dreams, to lose weight, and to do something we really want to do, and we put it on hold for ages. And you know, I'm not the expert. I write songs and sing. And for this, I have expert. I brought you the best of the best. But I'm just sharing to the people that don't know me. I'm doing it because I'm a person that had the courage against all odds to come to London with one suitcase and a dream to become international singer-songwriter. I had so many objections and rejections from music personalities and family, and everyone thought that I'm mad to do it, but I did it. And of course, it's a progress, and that's the beauty of life. We always aspire for more. But by releasing Beauty of the Duty, What Holds You Back, I just felt it's the right time now when we are in the pandemic, although there is some hope in the near future, it's still every day you can do something to make your life better. And for this, I invited someone that can give you those instant tools. So my guest today, she is holistic business coach, which we're very privileged because she has spoken before in front of 1.5 million people, which we are very, very privileged to have her. She's also doing a lot of work for the world, for the NHS, constantly doing good stuff to the world. But I personally met her because of her wonderful work that is dance meditation, dance into bliss. It has few names, and she will talk to us about it and give us some kind of inspiration. So please welcome Karen Skehel. Hello and welcome.
Sally, hello, and thank you so much for inviting me to talk to your following. Tell me what particular question I can answer for you, because there are many that I could answer. Which one would you like?
So I really like, the main thing is, first of all, what holds you back? So please share with us, as a holistic coach, what that holding back in life, that people come to you in business or personal people that has personal issues. What is the main thing that holds us back?
I would say there is not one main thing necessarily. There are a number of different things that can hold us back. As a headline, probably a key piece would be around fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of doing it wrong, possibly fear of climbing up the wrong ladder and finding you're against the wrong wall, investing time in something that you're not totally sure about. Sometimes it can be simply you haven't found your thing, so that there can be a treading water piece. But sometimes that can be exactly the right thing to do, because the timing might not be right, A, for the world, or B, for you as an individual. And I mean, I can talk about my own circumstances, because to describe me as a holistic business coach would be a very accurate title for the work that I've been doing for the last 20 years. But COVID has been a catalyst for me to make a change in the focus of my work. So my work is still around coaching, but I felt, and the word is a calling. Sometimes there's a calling within. You had that calling, it sounded like, to come to London and sing. And sometimes we have a calling to do something, so that can carry us quite far. but it doesn't necessarily remove, because as human beings, we're always navigating the inner obstacles. And sometimes we feel like we've overcome one, and then it can come up again in a different form.
Yes.
So that is a constant journey. I mean, what I find for myself and also for clients, there are times when I have a real kind of, if you like, a burst of inspiration to take particular actions, and that overcomes some of the inner obstacles that are going on. But then the inspiration may leave. So in terms of, that's really answering the question how to overcome what holds us back, and that would be following your calling, which you did, and I am, and following your inspiration. But it's also understanding in detail what your inner obstacles are, or what's holding you back. A common theme that we talk about, don't we, as human beings, is this piece about procrastination.
Yeah.
And we can reprimand ourselves, can't we, for I'm a bad person, or my clients might say that to me, I'm bad or I'm wrong, or feel guilty or express guilt for procrastinating. But ultimately, we put things off, or we hold us back for very specific reasons. So one, I already talked about the fear. Another one might be, we have a sense that we could be unbelievably successful in this new field. And that can bring up fear of overwhelm, and how will it impact, and will we drown in the work that can come through really putting ourselves out there, and then finding ourselves on a treadmill from which we cannot get off. So that often, that piece about, will I overwhelm myself if I take the specific actions that I'm clear that I know I need to take?
Is that just do you mean fear of success? Is that what?
Well, I do mean
of success.
I do mean. I mean, overwhelm is a fear, is a success.
Yeah.
I do mean fear of, but then it also, success can come in many forms, particularly in your world. You know, in the singing world, you might become the top of the celebrity stakes, and you may find yourself disconnected from your family and friends, or whatever, or they don't have access to you, so it can impact. I'm not quoting you specifically, I'm quoting in the celebrity field. You can be cut off from your normal connections in life through that success, A, because you didn't have time for them, and B, because they feel they can't connect with you anymore. And it doesn't always bring out the best in people, in their if you like, human qualities. So I mean, it's not necessarily a formula for humility. I think for many who can become incredibly successful, it could go to their head, and all of any humility they would have had would have gone out the window. So that won't be a good experience for their emotional well-being. But there's fear of success, and there's also fear of failure, spending time on something and finding that you cannot you're not getting anywhere. You know, some people have an inner perfectionist. So, you know, they can't put anything out there. Right? You can put your hand up for that one. It's a common one. They can't put anything out there unless they feel it's, and that really can be a bit of a drain, time-wise. The amount of time that goes into getting a piece of work perfect. It makes it really not a fun experience, does it, to do the work, and so much time goes into it. And you know, to get that last bit of perfection is incredibly time intensive,
of course,
and not, if you like, worth the time. But ultimately, we're all programmed, aren't we, to behave in our particular ways. So if we are behaving in particular ways that are not serving us, then we want to, if you like, shine a light on that, so we can see what that is, so that we can explore ways of changing that. The other thing about being held back is sometimes, if you like, often there is work required, and sometimes and often quite a lot of work required to if you like, fulfill your dreams.
Yeah.
And that might not be the right experience, because there's a part of all of us that actually wants to chill. Sometimes that part that wants to chill can get quite big. And I know for myself. And I think COVID is also a collective invitation to chill on some level, because we're being asked to be locked up. We're being locked up. They call it lockdown. I call it locked up.
Yes.
And there is an element of that, and that's in the collective. So that isn't really encouraging us in the collective to get out and you know, do a lot, because there's a kind of, and also the piece around winter, kind of, you know, shut down the shutters, get underneath the duvet. That the time of year that we were in anyway, the winter isn't really an action time in a sense. It's kind of cuddle up and duvet. And then we've got this collective, don't get out there and talk to people, you know, stay home, be safe, don't get out there. And that don't get out there message is also not necessarily an encouragement for action. Right. So it's always anyway about balancing how much action we take and how much chilled out time we have in order to recharge, so that we can kind of come out in the world. But I'm all about following your inner rhythm, if you like. So you know, we know this, don't we? All of us, everything changes. So even if we're feeling like these inner blocks or obstacles or held back, that might be exactly where we need to be. So one of the ways through that is to go with it, accept it, rather than fight against it. This is exactly where I need to be. What needs is this meeting for me? You know, clearly I need to have plenty of chilled out time, plenty of relaxation time, which is all good for our well-being. And sometimes we need to let go of some of that in order to take the actions that we need to take to get out in the world and get the results that we want to take. So there's a bit of a loving nudge to sort of say, okay, how can I get out there in a way that is supportive, nurturing, loving, compassionate, enjoyable, inspiring? Ask that question, and then the answers will come. And then if we're putting ourselves out there in ways that enjoy us, like I'm imagining you enjoy doing your podcasts. I get the essence, I get the idea. You like that.
Yeah, I enjoy. It's part of me that my fans don't know, because I'm always singing, and but I was a journalist, and so I like to ask questions, but I love more even all the subject of self-growth and progress in life is something I'm so passionate. And I think sometimes I'm saying my journey was maybe longer to achieve, and it is still long, but through that I learned so much, so I can give so many musicians out there hope. And it so I do love it's part of me that I'm exploring now, and I like it.
Yeah, and through podcasts or videos, you are communicating your energy. You're sharing yourself, and you're sharing another really good side of you, because it is what you enjoy doing.
Yes.
Speaking and interviewing people, in addition to your singing and your writing of songs.
That's right.
So that is a great way of, if you like, not holding yourself back, because you enjoy it. You enjoy doing the interviews. And I have to say, I've started doing them myself. And I actually do too. And it doesn't feel like work. But you see, if you're enjoying it, then it's not work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think what I really like what you said about, I don't know, I never know how to pronounce this word,
procrastination.
Yeah, it's just such a difficult word for me, but I think that I was the master of it. And even of streaming. For years, people told me, do streaming, sing covers. You know, this is how Ed Sheeran and the biggest stars started by doing all these covers. And I'm just, this pandemic forced me, you know, I'm at home, to do those streaming, and that is something so good that if we take this opportunity of this time, and I really like in a second to hear, because I know that you've been doing a lot of new things, but before that, I really liked when you spoke about the inner rhythm. It's because the rhythm and your dance meditation is how I met you. I just liked what you said, that none of the other people really put it in these words. When something is happening and it doesn't work as we expected it, you just need to flow with that. You just need to flow instead of, you know, going against it and let the ego. So I really like if you can share with us and even give us a few tips about this wonderful workshop that you do with movement, giving the people that possibility to feel free, which obviously probably as a result, it helps them to stop things that hold them back. So if you can share with us and even give us some tips or even example, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I have become, since COVID actually, even more so, a big fan of embodiment as a practice, which basically means any practice that involves getting out of the head and into the body.
Yeah.
Now, any kind of movement. Now, you came to me through Dance of the Heart, dance meditation, which involves movement to music. Now, I always share this with people. I'm not a dancer, and you don't need to be a dancer. But what can hold people back around going to anything dance-wise? And I have met people, they said, oh, I can't come because I don't dance.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't dance either, but I lead a dance practice. I've led this on TV. I've shared it in front of millions. Not once, but twice, actually, on the BBC. Wow. And on a documentary I did for the South Koreans on dance as therapy. So if somebody like me, who I would say wasn't even so keen on dance until I met this as a practice, then really anyone can embrace. It's really a movement to music. Movement in general is a powerful, if you like, well-being tool. You know, as a singer, how powerful music is.
Yeah.
And when you have that power of music and emotion and movement, you have a very, very powerful cocktail that can really, I guess, liberate the human soul.
Right.
It can bring up emotions, and it is designed to bring up emotions, but not what you and I know, but not everyone knows, is feeling our feelings is a well-being tool. It's how we heal our human suffering. Yeah. But we have to get comfortable to do that. We have to practice doing that. We have to have the courage to allow ourselves to move. What I love about teaching on Zoom, which is really interesting, is that people can turn off their camera.
Exactly.
So they don't have to be seen. And that can give people a lot more confidence to move, because there's an awful lot of, do I look good? Am I doing it right? What will they think of me? They can let go of all of that, which is very, very helpful for those who are a bit uncomfortable or a little bit nervous, which can be many. Yeah. And those who want to have their camera on can, but even if they've got their camera on, people are so small, aren't they? Yeah. On the screen, so you can't see so much. Yeah. But I also found it really quite an inspirational practice for me. I mean, as a facilitator or as a coach, which I'm both, I follow my intuition, and I was amused by, I work sometimes in the sessions with play and fun, again as a well-being tool, because I say play and fun, what that's about is it connects us with ourselves and with each other. It's a feel-good, and also it's a doorway out of difficult experiences. So what is the funny side of this pandemic, or this whatever the difficult experience is? And what was quite amusing to me and those that I was teaching on this weekend, one of the exercises I do is called a mirror dance, which is they will mirror what I'm doing. And I felt that the calling to stick my nose in front of the camera. So I kind of went, I mean, it was funny in the moment. And they're mirroring me. So we're all sticking our nose into the it just came. I've not done that before. I've been teaching this for so long. And it's quite interesting, because I know I'm slightly digressing. We can get stuck in our ways, but sometimes we just follow our inspiration, our intuition, and we feel a calling to do something that we haven't done before. So my sessions, as you know, come in two halves. The first half is a higher energy. Each exercise has a particular intention and outcome, and my session overall has a theme. I'm working a lot with love and compassion. It's always been dear to my heart, but it's really come out bigger since the pandemic. So, and each exercise that I teach has its own individual outcome. So it might be starting off by connecting with the joy inside. Even if you're not feeling joyful, there's a part of you that is in joy, even if you're having a bad day. So we might start by doing that. And then I might bring into the room an imaginary being for people to dance with. So it's an imaginary being because we're dancing on our own. Individually. And that imaginary being can be someone alive, someone who's no longer alive, can be an animal that's no longer alive. It can be also, and this is quite interesting, to dance with a part of yourself. So you can bring in a quality within yourself that you appreciate, and you can have a loving connection with that quality. But also I sometimes work with a part of yourself that you might find difficult, the part that's carries shame or rage, and you might dance and send compassion to that part as well. So it has a lot of creative applications. We might do a creative dance where we're expressing our creativity. We might do a dance that is about showing ourselves that we can embrace change in our life. So we'll move around to different parts of the room and embrace change. So there's a lot of different, and the yin and the yang, dancing with the yin, dancing with the yang. We might simply just do a walk, stepping into our power. And often, I know I do, and participants can feel that sort of tingling in the body as you just walk out, step into your power. So that's just a few examples. And then the second half is very much more of a moving meditation practice. So then there are various different, most of that's done with the eyes closed, and there are various different exercises around letting go of the thinking mind. So you can simply be in the body. There are other ones where you might flow through the space. Again, you'd have your eyes closed so you can have your body flowing through the space. And that is about creating ease and flow in your life. As your body flows through the space, you're then creating ease and flow. I'll sometimes have, can be quite emotional, I'll have us hold a part of ourselves or ourselves as a baby and rock ourselves as a baby. And I can use Brahms' lullaby. Can be quite emotional.
I think I remember
like Brahms' lullaby. But there are many kind of love songs that we can sing. We don't necessarily sing, but we can sing, obviously. I mean, we're not, although it's curious, and actually in one of my workshops, and I have done this because I did quite a bit of charity work with Age UK. This was before lockdown, actually, and one of my participants would always like to sing to us. And we would be in a circle and we put our arms around the waist of our companions, and they would sing and we would kind of gently rock. But we can still be in a circle even if we're on our own, because we can bring into the room all our loved ones, whether they're alive, whether they're no longer alive, our favorite pets, again, imaginary beings, loved ones we wished we'd had. There, as you know, when it comes to the imagination, there are no limits.
Absolutely. That is great. So let's give the viewers, they will have all the information on the description of the video. Where can they find those workshops? Because I can say, first of all, I did one of those workshops and it was a real joy. But also I found that in the lockdowns, especially the second lockdown, which I've been doing much less streaming. At the beginning, I did like 18 shows because it was summer and I sang to the neighbors. But this one, it's darker. So to shift myself, I just found a YouTube shamanic rhythm that I connect to. And to shift myself, I just dance to myself. And just by doing it, it's so much therapeutic, help me feel better instantly. But if you want something a bit more so you can find other part of yourself, I think this workshop can really work for you and also help you to see where are you holding yourself back and not being the wonderful free spirit that you are. So so anything else that you like to share with us, because we are or where can people find it?
There are two places that people can find me. If you like, my transformation, which is more of an evolvement than a transformation. They can find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
By searching for my name. Okay. Which is Karen, Karen, Skehel.
It's all there. So it's really,
okay. Yeah. And also from my coaching work, and I talk about where COVID has taken me and where I am now and going, is my coaching website is wow-coaching.co.uk, and my, if you like, compassion focused well-being work, which includes dance of the heart, dance meditation, is on the chateaubarnes.co.uk. And the particular, I'm doing a regular session at 6 p.m. on a Saturday, and so I've been doing that since lockdown, actually. Wow. So, and I haven't missed a week. I do 6 sessions of various different compassion focus, about 6 each week. Yeah. And most of them are on there, but if people contact me, I can send them details.
Wonderful. So, I will have all the details below the video because it's 3 different ones, so it's not under one. So I'll make sure that I have them all. And what can I say? Well done for all the great work that you're doing to help people out there and to make them a better version of themselves. And looking forward to meet up again. Karen, thank you so much. It has been really inspiration, as always, to hear you. And I hope that people enjoyed it and go to one of the things that you are focusing. And and I'm sure we will meet one day again.
Lovely to chat, Tally. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, and keep the great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is you, the only thing that holds you back.